Hi YouTube. So today we are going to create a digital sign-in sign-out sheet using Google Forms. It's going to be a great way to keep track of everything. When we use Google Forms, we're going to be able to access it from anywhere. We're going to be able to share it with people. We're going to have a digital copy that's going to be in our Google Drive that we don't have to keep track of small pieces of paper everywhere. So it really is a helpful thing. So I'm going to log into my internet browser. I'm going to use Google Chrome, but you can use whatever internet browser that you'd like. This is completely free as long as you have a Google account. In my browser, I'm just going to put forms.new. You could use forms.google.com to get to your Google Drive, or you could go into your Google Drive and go to the plus sign, new, and then forms. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do when I get in here is I'm going to give it a name, and I can do that here or here, either place, because it's going to, as soon as I put it in one spot, it's going to auto-populate in the other. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a name. This one's going to be Classroom Sign In, Sign Out. And as soon as I click off of it, it's going to pop in right there. Just to kind of give you an overview in case you're not familiar, this little painter's palette is going to let us customize the theme. So if you want to add an image to make it more personalized, you can add an image there. You can change the color, you could change the background color, and it'll even allow you to, it gives you a couple of options for changing font. This little eyeball right here, anytime you're making a form, you can click that eyeball and it'll let you preview to see what it looks like to students, or what it looks like if it were done. This settings lets you change some of the settings, but they're not settings we're going to use today, so I'm not going to go over those. The only tools that we're going to use on here today are the add question and add section. But this is going to be import questions in case you were making a longer form or quiz that you wanted to import questions. You could add title and descriptions. You can add images, which I think is a really cool option if you're making a sign-in, sign-out sheet for English language learners or for a specific class or for very young students. You could add video, okay, and then that's the section that we're going to add. You could put a description here if you want to. I'm going to skip that because I don't think I need a description. The very first question is going to be name, and when I made mine, I wrote full name because I expected students to type in their full name. When my husband made his, we actually changed this to a drop-down menu and we added his students in here. So to make a drop-down menu, you could type in your students one by one. If you have them on a list, like we have this fake class right here in Google Sheets, whoops, I would copy and paste. Actually, I'm just going to copy it here. So I'm on a Mac, so I'm going to Command C. And here, I'm just going to click on the first option and I'm going to paste. And what that's going to do is it's going to put each student as one of the options. And that's much quicker for my husband's younger students who would take a long time to type their name. Right here, this toggle, I'm going to toggle it to the right, and that's going to make this question a required question so students can't skip putting their name in. And then I'm going to add my next question. And my next question is going to be destination, or where are you going, right? It defaults to short answer. And even for older kids, I like to make this a drop down because what happens, and I made this mistake the first time, I let kids type in where they were going, but they might type in restroom or bathroom or something else that means they're all going to the same place. And in the end, I'm going to put all these into a spreadsheet, and then I can't filter and look at things the way I would like to. So a drop-down menu keeps everything a lot neater and allows me to do those things. So the first one I'm going to put is back to classroom, because no matter where the students are going, they're going to have to sign back in when they come back. So that's the most common place they're going to be, is in the classroom. So I'm going to put that one first. And then I'm going to put restroom and water, and I put those together because in my situation those are in the same area, and the reason I'm creating this is to kind of make some contact tracing for where students are at what time. So that's, I can put both of those together, it's okay. I'm also going to put iPad, Chromebook cart. That's a common place that they ask to go. And I'm going to put the office or the nurse. And you may have a lot more options than I have, but I work in a really small school, so a lot of these places are like the office, and the nurse is inside of the office. The last option though I'm going to put is other, because I'm not going to put every single place that they ever go. So other gives me that flexibility. I am going to toggle the switch to the right to make it required. And then these 3 dots on the side give me some choices. They let me add a description, go to section based on answer, or shuffle the order. So if I'm making a quiz, that's what that would be for. Let me scoot my head here so you can see those. Okay, so I'm going to go to section based on answer. This comes up on the side here. So if they're going to any of these places, I'm going to let them submit the form because they're done. The only one I want to go to another section for is other, because if it's other, they have to type in where they're going. So we're going to submit form on these. And here I am going to continue to the next section, which I haven't created the next section yet, but let me move my head again. The next section is going to be right here where it says add section. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And here's the next section, and I'm going to put destination continued. Okay, I'm not going to add any kind of description there. I'm going to add a question, and the question, I'm just going to say, where are you going? And I am going to make this one a short answer, and I'm going to make it required because if they didn't go to one of my drop-down menus, I want them to have to type in where they're going. Okay, and that's that, right? That's all I'm going to put on mine. It's a very simple, quick form to make. Up here where it says responses, I'm going to click on that. I mentioned earlier that I'm going to want the where they're going to be kept in a spreadsheet. To me, I think that's really the easiest place. So right here where this little green right here, I'm going to click create spreadsheet, and it's going to be create a new spreadsheet, and that new spreadsheet is going to be named classroom sign in sign out. So I'm going to click create. It's going to have a timestamp, their name, destination. The only time that this column D is going to be filled out is if they chose other and they have to say where they're going. I am going to very quickly fill a few of these out so we can see what that looks like. Now that I put a couple of those in, you can see what the timestamp looks like. It gives you the month, day, year, and it also gives you the hour in military time, minutes, and seconds, and their name, their destination, and if they clicked other, column D is going to give you whatever they typed in there. The last thing that I do is to create a QR code for students to use their devices to get to the form very quickly. And in order to do that, I'm going to click on up here where it says send. I'm going to click that. I'm going to get the link. I like to use the shortened URL, even though it's not going to matter. It makes my QR code not quite as complicated, which is sometimes nice. I'm going to click copy. There are lots of QR code generators. The only reason I use QR Code Monkey, or that I started using it, is because it is free and there's not a limit. Some of the free QR codes, be careful because there's a limit. So when you get, I've used this QR code 50 times, it'll just stop working. Here we go. Okay, so where it says your URL, I'm going to paste my URL in there. When that pops up, I can either download that QR code or I can take a screenshot or a snip of that and post that for students to sign in and out. So I hope this has been helpful, and please go ahead and share this video with other people that you think might benefit from making one of these. Okay guys, see you next time.